Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is my review for the season finale of Girl Meets World, Season 1, Episode 20, Girl Meets First Date. And I honestly can't think of a more perfect way to end the season. This was by far the best episode of the season. Everything was perfect in this episode. And there were a lot of things that were throwbacks to Boy Meets World, and even some things from the beginning of the season that I love that they did in this episode. So many things I loved about this episode. Let's just get into it because it was such an amazing episode. And this honestly just I can't wait for season 2 after this episode. Let's just get into it. We start off with Corey, and I love seeing Corey be so protective over Riley. He's talking about how like it's springtime, and how now that it's springtime, love's in the air, and he sees all these couples in love, but then he realizes, oh my God, the same thing would happen to Riley. And I loved when Riley and Lucas are just looking at each other, and he does whatever he can to make sure they are apart from each other. He locks Lucas and like out of the classroom and makes Riley sit there, and he's like, we're gonna have the talk. And I love that Maya just like, have the talk right here in front of all of us. It was so funny when that happened. And he blocks Lucas into coming into his classroom, and it was so funny. And Farkle and Corey are both wanting barter for Riley's hand, which proves to be too much for her because, they're basically talking about how, like, she's too young for her first date and things like that. But she actually stands up, proclaiming that she'll be making the decisions about her first date. And because Farkle wants to take her on a date, obviously. And especially after the last episode, I thought that was, it's been a while since Girl Meets World has been on. I feel like it hasn't been on for a long time, and I've said this before. I don't really like how long Disney Channel takes for their episodes to come out, but I thought that, this was definitely worth the wait. So basically, she makes it known that she wants to be with Lucas, even though Cora doesn't really want her with Lucas. I think this was the first episode where I really love the idea of Riley and Lucas together. Like, I have liked those two together, but I never was like, oh my God, they need to get together. After this episode, I love them together. Lucas has been very superficial, I think is the word, really. He hasn't had too much of a character, and he's been kind of boring. But after this episode, I really do like him. I think he's a really good guy for Riley, and Farkle is relieved that Lucas likes Riley because he actually considered Lucas I thought this was interesting that he actually said he considered Lucas a threat, but Lucas has enabled him to not choose between the two friends, and because he always thought that Lucas liked Maya, and he doesn't want that to happen and everything, and basically Maya decides to ask Lucas out because she thinks that would be the best thing to do so that way Corey wouldn't be upset. And I love that Maya did that because honestly, again, it just shows how great of a friend she is to Riley. And I thought overall that was probably the best thing to do, was just ask Lucas out. So that's what she does. She asks Lucas out, and basically Riley is kind of upset at first, but Maya assures her that it's a good idea and that she has a better plan. And I actually really like what their plan is here. It's actually really funny because then we go back to their apartment and we see that Lucas is arriving to ask, and I like that he did this because he's actually asking Corey's permission to ask Riley on a date, making it seem like he's there for Maya, but really there to ask permission to Corey for Riley, which honestly is a pretty genius plan, I have to say. And Corey at first like, get out of here, I want nothing to do with you. I thought that was really funny, and I definitely really enjoyed that. And basically, we see, I thought that was really funny. So Josh then arrives though because at first Lucas is there and he's about to ask Corey, but Corey's like he's not gonna, he thinks that they're just too young. And Josh arrives, and I really like what they did with Josh and Maya. Now, am I saying that these two are gonna get together? No. Josh is 16, Maya's like 15. It's not. And Maya's like 12 or something like that. I think she's supposed to be 13. Yeah, I think she's supposed to be 13 in this. It's not gonna happen if Maya's 13 and Josh is 16. But I do have to say, I love the friendship that these two are getting. There was a great moment between them this episode, which I will get to. But basically, I love that Corey's like, tell Riley she's too young to date, and Josh is like so happy that she's dating. I thought that was really funny. And honestly, I really want Josh to become a main character in season 2. He's so funny, and he provides so much to the show. He really does. And plus, we never really saw a lot of his character in Boy Meets World, because of course it was just a baby, but we've gotten so much from him in Girl Meets World that honestly, I would love for him to become a main character. Really would be great with that. So he makes this announcement that he'll be around this summer for the NYU pre-college program, which Maya is so happy about. She's flirting with him, and he's just like, "Remember, I'm too young for you. I'm too old for you. I'm 16. You're too young for me. I can't date you." I just thought overall that was really funny. Just his attempts to shut her down and things like that, and her still flirting with him are still great. And even though she knows that she's too young for him, she still doesn't stop, and I found that to be very funny. Another really funny moment of mine in the episode is when she's talking to Corey and basically giving him the talk. I thought that was absolutely hilarious when we saw that. And eventually, what ends up happening is we see that um, basically he's saying how he doesn't want any of his children dating for, he would never let any of his children date that young. And then we see Augie and Ava dating, and I think that they're really cute together because they have now gotten engaged, and it's a real throwback to Corey and Topanga, because if you remember, Corey used to call Topanga his wife even when they weren't married, which I always really liked. And basically we see though that Ava's wearing Topanga's ring, and she's freaking out about it. She's really upset that Ava's doing this, and she's even saying that she thought Topanga was Augie's grandmother. Oh my god, it was so funny. And this is probably Ava's best episode, I have to say. I mean, it's got me a while to like her character, but she was so funny in this episode. And basically, Corey fails to convince Augie and Ava to wait for their marriage. He's trying to tell them not to get married and everything, but they decide that they will get married. And but instead of anything happening, Topanga then removes Ava from the apartment one last time, and I thought that was really funny. So ultimately, Corey decides that Riley can go out with Lucas, but it must be a double date with Maya and Farkle. And I thought that was good overall, because I mean, double date, I can totally understand that. And I thought that was really funny. And you see that Farkle is like so ecstatic to go on this date with Maya. He thinks this is the biggest thing ever, and Maya couldn't care less. She's like, she even says she's not counting it as the first date, which I thought was really funny. And she's just happy that she won't get hurt with Farkle, which I really liked. Oh, there was one other scene I'm going to talk about that I definitely really enjoyed, and that is when Maya and Riley are talking, and Maya's talking about how Riley's always going to be there for her, and they're not going to let anyone come in between them. I really like that scene overall, definitely, because it just shows the friendship that they have and how close they are, and it's such a central part of the show that they had to show that. They had to show them have that, talk about how this isn't going to come into, because the biggest theme about this episode is that life is changing. Life is changing for them. They're getting older. They're now starting to date. Things are changing. And I like seeing that theme resonate throughout this episode. There are a lot of things of that in here, which I definitely like. So they then go on the date, and I thought it was really funny when Farkle looks at Maya. He thinks he is just so ecstatic. She honestly did. I will admit Maya looked hot, and I can say that because in real life Sabrina Carpenter is my age. Um, so I will say that she did look hot, and basically Farkle is very happy to go on a date with Maya. He's ecstatic about, which was really funny. And basically we then see Josh is on a date with this tour guide, and I thought this was really interesting. He's 16, but she's 20, and we see that he's also doing what Maya is doing to him, and he's also here to, she's only here to show him around, not date him, and he's pretty distraught about it because he really thought that he had a chance with her, and he thought that he could look older than he was, and I honestly felt really bad for Josh. I really did. I mean, he liked this girl, and just seeing that happening, I thought was really interesting. So basically, Maya goes over to cheer him up a bit, and I thought that was a really good scene. It shows that I don't think these two are ever going to get together, but I definitely see a friendship coming in. I definitely see this becoming more of a friendship and less of just Maya obsessing over him. I mean, of course, Maya's always going to have that crush on him. That's just who she is. But I definitely see more of a genuine friendship coming here. Like, that scene was very genuine, and that's something I love about Girl Meets World. Just scenes like that. They're just very genuine. They were very well done. I definitely really enjoyed that. So basically, during the date, Riley and Lucas, they are having a great date and everything, but Riley can see that Maya's a little bit down, so she goes over to cheer. So Riley leaves Lucas to go comfort Maya, and Maya asks what happened with her date, and Riley replies that it was great, and then Maya got all needy. I thought that was really funny, and basically Maya basically tells Raya to go be happy with Lucas. Don't worry about her, even though she's with, Farkle, don't be worried. And she recreates what Riley always wanted her first moment with Lucas to be. Riley goes right into Lucas's lap. However, they actually kiss, and it's a very good scene because it's just showing that Riley finally got that kiss with Lucas, and she always wanted it. And Farkle then moves for Maya, but he only kisses the palm of her hand. But she's actually happy about it. She's impressed that how good of kisser he is, and I thought that was really funny. And then he's like, "Tell your friends." I thought that was really good overall. I definitely really enjoyed that. And as I said, I've wanted these two together for a while, and if they want to get them together, I'm all for it. I think it's really cool. And I love the way the episode ended as well, with Riley and Maya and Corey and Topanga each discussing how life is changing, but it's okay since they have each other. I thought that was a really good way to end the season, definitely. I mean, that really is the theme of this episode, is that things are changing. And definitely season two, I see things being a little bit different. I see things being more mature. I think that's what's going to happen, because Boy Meets World was that way. First season of Boy Meets World was pretty much like the first season of Girl Meets World. I mean, it was much more procedural. It was much more of a kid show, and I definitely feel like Girl Meets World is definitely going to get more mature as it goes on, which I definitely love seeing. And I love the way this episode ended. I just love the way this episode respected that, and definitely it was really great. Now, the cool thing about this is that we do get the second season in May. The second season's in May. There's some weird special in April because Disney's What the What weekend. I don't know. They do weird things, but they're doing some special in April for whatever reason. But I want to talk about the season overall. Um, I read someone complaining that the season was not good and it was a train wreck. Now, was the season perfect? No, it was not perfect. There were some episodes that were not as good as others, but that's like any show. And especially, it's very rare for me to stick with a Disney Channel show and it be consistently great. And it took a while it didn't take a while for it to be great, but there were those two episodes that Girl Meets Crazy had, and Girl Meets World of Terror that I didn't really love. Those are really the only ones I didn't really love, though, because other than that, I loved this season. I thought this was a great season. I thought it really paid respect to Boy Meets World, and I think it's just because of Michael Jacobs doing the show. He really did a great job making sure that this season had the look and the feel of Boy Meets World. Was really great, and all the characters, I think, got more and more comfortable. All the actors got more and more comfortable in the roles as the show went on. Definitely, I mean, first few episodes, I was very iffy about Farkle, and now I love Farkle. Lucas, I didn't like Lucas's character. Now I love Lucas's character. I love what they did to him. Now, I will say that yes, Lucas is sort of a priss. I'd like to see him get more than just the perfect guy. I'd like to see more of that happen in season two, but we have season two for that, which is cool that we have that. A lot of this episode though just reminded me of classic Boy Meets World. I mean, there's a great moment where Topanga and Riley are talking, and she's talking about all the dates that her and Corey went on when they were kids. It's just such a sweet scene. It shows their bonding that they always had. She even mentions Sean, which I loved. Sean was not in this episode. That's really was my only thing, is that I would have wanted Sean to be in it, but he's not back. He's gonna be back in season two. I believe he's gonna be a series regular in season two. Don't quote me on that though. Josh, I'd love to see Josh become a regular in season two because he is a great character. I love where they're going with him. I love his friendship with Maya, and I think him as an actor is definitely really great. I know some people didn't really like his character, but I personally love his character. I love where they're going with him, and I think they've got some really good stuff planned for Josh if they want to make him a main character, because they should. Um, what else can I say about the season? Oh, this episode was hilarious, as I said, definitely very, very funny. And that's something that is very rare in Disney Channel, for the show to be funny. And this show was funny. It had the humor in there. It had some great messages. That's something I love about this show, is that each episode tried to contain some sort of message. And as I said, the message of this episode is simply that life changes, people change, things change. It's just how you move to that transition, how you are with that. And I thought that overall was just a great message. I love that. I thought that was really well done. And I really love the way that was handled here. And also, this episode felt very different from the rest of the season, which I really like, and probably just because of the whole idea of things changing. And that was really cool that it felt different. It felt a little bit more mature. It felt less like a kid show and more like just a regular show about growing up, because honestly, at the end of the day, that's what the show is about. It's about growing up. It's not just some kids show on Disney Channel. It's about growing up. There are people that make fun of the show, and it's honestly kind of sad because it honestly is a very good show. It's about growing up. It's about the world overall. It's about you being prepared for the world. And I think Riley definitely is more prepared than she was in the first episode, and I can't wait to see what season 2 has in store. But overall, guys, that's it for my review of the season finale. Absolutely loved this episode. Such a great way to end the season. Absolutely loved it. Also, I'd love for Ava to become a main character. It's taken me a while to like Ava, but I love Ava, and I pretty much love Ava's character now, and I'd love to see more interaction with her and Augie. So funny, and I loved it. I love that Augie kept calling her his wife and everything. I thought that was really funny. And just the fact that he didn't care that they were married or anything that she told him to do, I thought overall was just really great, and I love that. So that's basically it for my review. Let me know what you guys saw of this episode. What do you think of the season overall? Are you looking forward to season 2? I love this episode. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for the season finale of The Walking Dead, which I can't wait to watch, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.